friends, Sakaderas. So today I kind of want to talk about being famous in Japan. And so through this I'm going to be talking about things like idols and VTubers. And you know, let's just put in K-pop in there because I feel like whatever I have to say, it's going to include them as well. I'm going to get crucified. No, seriously, I feel like when it comes to these communities, it's usually the fan bases that I think a lot of content creators and companies are always worried about triggering, because let's admit that these communities tend to have some of the most, let's say, passionate fans. Does that taste better going down? But just know that any of the criticisms I'm going to give in this video are not coming from a place of ignorance, okay? There is a special place in my heart for each and every one of these in their own way. K-pop being one of the longest running ones in my life, I'm not a rabid fan of it, no. But I do have some respect and some love for K-pop in my life. And also with Japanese idol culture. Is it something that I'm also a super massive fan on? No. But it is something that, because through my love of anime and Japanese culture, just naturally through the progression of how that goes, idol culture just gets in front of you. And also with VTubers, I'm not the most into it, but my friends are VTubers.
Aki's hot. You're a lucky man. I want her to squeeze me in between her armpits.
I get why the community is not only big in that scene, but in all of these scenes. With all of this said, I still have my criticisms, and this is what it's going to be. What I'm going to say is not something that's groundbreaking. It's something that a lot of people have said in the past, and it's the fact that there is a very toxic part of these fan bases that I just can't seem to not make a video on. I think the toxic part about, let's just call them all idol culture, okay? I feel like when it comes to idol culture, they tend to have a lot of fans that are, what's the term, parasocial, entitled, and just overly obsessive to the point that it's really just turned not only me but many fans of these genres off. And you know, it's come to a point that even for me, for example with K-pop, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but a lot of the fan base has turned me off about K-pop, even away from some of the music that I could be enjoying in my free time. And why? Because there's just been too much BS. Let me just say something. I think it's very fucking stupid how entitled some fans can be, especially in Japan when it comes to idols, because my god, if you say anything that is critical of their favorite idol, the backlash is insane. These fans are so obsessed with these idols that they feel some sort of entitlement, and that entitlement also affects the idol at hand. So many times has an idol had to apologize for being in a relationship, something that isn't even significant in the world except to that fan. I just want to give a couple more examples about what I'm talking about here. So back in 2012, there was a voice actress, Ria Tanaka, and she actually posted openly saying that she got married and how happy she was. And what was the response? Her fans decided to shut down the online fan club. Back in 2010, a very famous voice actress, Aya Hirano, came out about her sexual life and also her preferences and what kind of guys she likes. And what was the results of this? A lot of death threats, and even one of them got arrested for giving her consistent death threats online. Her fans changed her Wikipedia to then just say the word die over and over again.
If there is anyone out there who's planning on breaking into my house and that I'm going to have to stab with a screwdriver, consider not doing that, please. I would really rather make it away. I would really rather make it to the grave someday when I'm satisfied that I've done all there is to do in this life. I'd rather do so with no more lasting trauma that I already have. Thank you.
Being in a relationship is not a big deal. It's only a big deal if you make it a big deal. And a lot of these super fans, I don't even know if I can really call them fans at this point, they somehow feel betrayed and feel like they are owed an apology or something to make up for this terrible thing that has happened in their life. When I have had celebrity crushes, right, of course I would like go online and I would see if they were taken or not. If they were single, great. I would fall into the delusion that, ooh, maybe I have a chance with them. No, I don't. What am I thinking? But if they were taken, whatever. It, you know, am I a little heartbroken? Sure. Did it ruin my life? No. Why was that? Because I had one foot in the real world of the fact that I could keep going on with my life without the celebrity. I was probably going to anyway. You know, in America, for example, you have celebrities that are holding hands openly with their partner on the red carpet. You see fans still going batshit insane for these celebrities and appreciating them from afar. And I personally love that transparency between fan and celebrity. The celebrity is free to date with whoever they want and feel proud about it, and the fan can still appreciate them. And I think that that is what really signifies a true fan, that things like that don't have to come in between the art and the artist. That does not really apply with idol culture. For some reason, these idols have to be kept pure and innocent and single. Which, by the way, let me just say, I don't know why single has to equate to being pure. Do you know that people who are single often do some of the craziest shit? Like, the single life in the dating scene is absolutely insane sometimes. But I guess it's for the fantasy that, oh, if they're single, that means that they're not, like, I don't know, having sex with somebody. Look, they probably are. A lot of them are probably doing stuff. They're all probably sleeping with someone or dating someone in secret. They're young, they're beautiful, they can have anyone that they want, and so of course that they would probably utilize that in their private time. But a lot of people, especially in Japan, would prefer that their idols were single or they just didn't know. You know who I'm also gonna include in this too is the freaking weather girl. I forgot her name, but her fans were exactly like that. As just a normal weather anchor, and then because she was very cute and she was just very quirky, it got that type of fan base, and a lot of them were really respectful, but a lot of them were just these super entitled, obsessed super fans that wanted her, that wanted all of her. And then something came out that I think she was taken and maybe she was engaged, but then those fans felt betrayed, and this is the part that I just don't understand, especially for a weather woman. I mean, she's just an anomaly at this point. But when it comes to idols or VTubers or whatever, you watched them because you thought that they were cute and that they were good at what they did. When it comes to K-pop idols or Japanese idols, you know, they put the work into their dancing and their music. With VTubers, they put the work into their voice and into their presentation. Why is that all taken away just because of the fact that they're single? I really hope that this video isn't coming out of me bullying, you know, saying that it's all the idols' fault or whatever, you know. I feel like in a lot of ways, the idols are also victims to this. It's mostly the industry that keep this kind of business going, where they exploit their fans into their money, their time, and their mental health, and the well-being of their celebrities too, by feeding this false hope to their audience that this celebrity includes you in their personal life. They don't. And that's okay. It's normal. A few years ago, I interviewed one of my favorite guitarists, Miyavi, and I've been a fan of him since I was like 14. I literally had a poster of him above my bed, and the fact that I got to sit in front of him was fucking crazy, okay? Like, the preteen in me was just like giggly inside and everything, but I kept it cool. I understood that at the end of the day, he's another human being. And you know what I respected him more for? Was the part where he says that he was super open about him being married and having kids because he doesn't want to hide or feel ashamed of these people that are the closest to him who are supporting him in what he does. And I respect that so much, and that is why to this day, for the past like 15 or 16 years, I am still a fan of Miyavi for things like that. I feel like that was his way. I mean, I'm not putting words in his mouth, but I feel like him saying that is kind of just flipping off this kind of system that, dude, what the hell are we doing of being fucking tiger moms to these celebrities? They deserve to have relationships just as much as anybody else and still dance and sing. I don't understand these parasocial fans. They're barely fans in my opinion, and if they're calling themselves a fan, I really don't think so. I think a true fan is somebody who wants to support their favorite content creator or their favorite idol in any way and wants them to be happy, because if they're happy, that means that they can provide you, the fan, with more of their work, with more of their content. And if you're gonna get so beat up over them just being taken, then what does that say about you as a fan? Why are you going to be so bent out of shape because you finally felt the truth for like the millionth time in your life that you're not going to get this idol? And I tweeted about this whole thing in a nutshell like a few weeks ago, and somebody quote retweeted that and said something like, oh, you don't like our culture or something like that. Dude, what culture? Being an entitled asshole over another human being? Trying to, I don't know, stalk someone through the selfies that they take and put on Instagram? Remember that happened with that one idol? Or the most famous one where the idol from years ago shaved her head off for just being caught having a relationship. People for years have been seeing that there has been something wrong, but we've all just kind of turned a blind eye to it and just accept that this is just the way it is, and it's up to the idol to keep their relationships a secret or not have a relationship at all. And it is very unfair, and I feel like it's really stupid. And it's even to a point that companies will literally drop their talent for having a relationship openly. Now, of course, again, not all fans are like that, but a lot of these fans, I just feel like they are, I don't know what world that they're living in, but it is so exhausting to see that they even care this much. I'm exhausted for that super fan that are screaming and crying in a fucking Discord chat after their favorite VTubers found out to be taken. By the way, this video is being made just from my own thoughts. It has nothing to do with any sort of drama that might have come out, because let's admit it, drama's coming out every day from all of these communities, and I just can't be bothered to keep up with any of it. I'm just collectively saying that this is just getting ridiculous. These idols put their blood, sweat, and tears into what they do, and even after all of that, I still feel like they're not getting what they deserve from both their fans and their agencies. And this is just the type of stuff that has absolutely turned me off from a lot of these communities, to the point I just listen or watch them quietly and don't talk about it. A big portion of this is in these communities that just happen to derive from East Asia. It has nothing to do with Asian culture. I feel like it's just that these industries that happen to be in Asia just kind of found a system that worked and have been abusing it for a really long time. I mean, not to say that these types of fans only exist like in Japan. I mean, we even do this with internet celebrities. What was that girl's name? Nico Lowell? Wasn't it that like she did like a little dance, she got super popular, and then all of a sudden people found out that she had a boyfriend, and then she lost 20,000 followers. Oh my god, it's absolutely ridiculous. You could say that the easiest answer to all of that is just simps, but I think that there's something else at play here. I guess the thing that I really want to just say to everyone here is, get over yourselves. Like, I feel like I can't be any more straightforward than that. God forbid your idol fell in love or maybe messed up here or there. And that is another thing about fame in general, all around the world, that I just really hate that it does, is that it just takes humanity away from these people. Because when you become famous anywhere, anything that you do or say is 10 times worse against you versus someone else who does the exact same thing. With great power comes great responsibility, but I feel like there's almost too much responsibility put on these celebrities. Again, I really hope that this video doesn't come off that I'm bullying anyone in specific here, and if you took it that way, then I feel like you've completely missed the point of what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about those fans that are really just ruining it for their own communities, and really ruining the reason why people even enjoy this type of content in the first place. And that's coming from someone overall who's kind of basically a third person looking at all of this, who isn't even a super fan. I'm not here trying to say that you should stop listening to idols because the fan base is toxic. I'm just saying that the fans, the super fans, if they're even fans at all, need to chill the fuck out, and that this video should hopefully help kind of make a bit more clarity of who's an actual fan and who's just entitled and an asshole. Now, if you guys want to learn more about like Japanese idols in general, there is a fantastic documentary that I think I've watched like 15 times. It's called Tokyo Idols. Used to be on Netflix, it's not anymore, but I'm sure you guys can find it somewhere on the internet. It's a great piece of work that follows idols in different sections of idol culture and the fans, so that you get to see the psychology being played out through here, and it is nuts. It's very dark, I will give it that, but it's nuts, and I've watched it so many times. I definitely recommend that to you guys. But I hope that I've kind of given my 2 cents here. If you like K-pop, cool, I do too. If you like VTubers, I may not be a fan, but cool. If you like idols in Japan, great. Just chill. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
I believe. I believe. I believe one day you will get out of this parasocial mess. And until that day comes, I'll keep believing.